Thank you, Mashood Erubami, for joining us for this interview for the Global Network of Domestic Election Monitors. We're here in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, for the forum on the role of citizen election observation in reducing the role of electoral violence. So Mashood is here as the president of the West African Election Observation Network, as well as the president of the Transitional Monitoring Group in Nigeria. So Mashood, can you please tell us a little bit about your experience here in Abidjan and what this forum has meant based on your experience as well in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. I think I must thank you too for this opportunity, to reflect over what we have been discussing since the last 3 days in Côte d'Ivoire. In fact, the Côte d'Ivoire experience for me is an advancement of what I have known, in election management, in election monitoring, and of course, tracking inherent violence and conflicts, on elections. What we have been able to achieve here, will live in the memory of Côte d'Ivoire's, and assist them in advancing further, especially coming from immediate post-election conflict and, devising means and using tools that can assist them to, start to have their election, better than what it was. I think it is one of the reasons why we have come is to be able to interact, with, the civil society organizations here and be able to refocus their role, on how best to monitor election and how best to avoid, violence, from the election, because there's a consensus around the table that, violence and conflict in election is a threat to democracy. And once it's a threat to democracy, it must be a threat to development. Therefore, for democracy to be entrenched, for development to be sustainable, the Côte d'Ivoire civil society must play their key role historically to ensure that they are able to mobilize the society. And that is one thing that this conference, international conference, have achieved. And I can see from discussions and interaction and cross-fertilization of ideas that it has dawned on everybody here that there is a need for civil society cohesion. And it's only through cohesion that programs, intervention can be laid, and that the general citizenry, can benefit from the work of civil society, and also from, gain from the dividends of democracy when it's eventually entrenched. So for me, my experience has been quite, enriched. My motivation has been deepened, and my knowledge also advanced.
And so what do you think are some of the key lessons from Nigeria that you think are relevant for your brothers and sisters here in Côte d'Ivoire?
Yes, the first lesson that, was learned in Nigeria is the need to engage, the stakeholders in elections so that everybody within the stakeholdership will represent a hand among all the hands that needs to be spread out, to make things better and make better things. Before our election in 2011, the relationship between our civil society and the Independent Electoral Commission was not good enough. But given the experience that we gathered, from sharing of best practices that the NDI organized in Ghana in 2009, it was, very clear from that conference that we will need to engage more, than hitherto, and that paid off. And, that allowed the Independent Electoral Commission to understand where we are coming from, and it also gave us the opportunity to see, what we can do, within the electoral process that can advance, what, people have been calling flawed election. And, we engage the politicians, the political parties, we engage the security agencies, we engage the Independent Electoral Commission, we engage the media, and of course, we engage ourselves constructively, because there is a need to understand why we need to play those historical roles and why those roles at the end of the day, if well paid, will advance our cause. So all these, combine together to lift, the election integrity in Nigeria. And for the first time, the name of Nigeria was able to be lifted out, of what you can call the unenviable list of countries, with long history of a flawed election. So today in Nigeria, for the first time during the election, the winners came out to congratulate the loser. I mean, the loser came out to congratulate the winner, knowing very well why they have lost the election, and the winner too appreciating the fact that it was because of the understanding of the capacity of the winner that the people voted, and in that case the winner came from the popular votes of the people. And at the end of the day, the election was not only free, not fair, not only transparent, but legitimate and credible.
And so what do you think that this forum and the work that has been done here in Abidjan this week will mean for WAEON going forward, and what are your hopes for the regional network in this area?
In the context of the WAEON Strategic Action Plan between 2011 and 2015, it means that there is a sort of program intervention, because now we know what the gaps are. We know the deficiencies in the running of CSO here, and that will give us the opportunity of putting together, through more organization of the civil society, programs that will increase the capacity of the organizations here to be able to play more formidable role, in the course of developing, Côte d'Ivoire. And at the end of the day, we believe that, with their participation in the next legislative election and, implementation of all the actions that they have agreed to embark upon, this program will have been one of the things that WAEON will work on, not only to come and solidarize with the people, but to also intervene in making them better citizens, deepening their motivation and knowledge, and also enhancing their capacity to distribute information, to share ideas and exchange, other things that can actually bring the unity, cohesion, and development at the end of the day.
Great, thank you very much. This has been Mashood Erubami, the president of the West Africa Election Observation Network and of TMG Nigeria. Thanks very much, Mashood.
Yeah, I'm grateful for the opportunity.